Just double checking, Michael. Yeah, you got time to watch the Konosuba movie this week?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yep. So, what were everyone's thoughts?
It's Konosuba. What do you expect?
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was very good. Yeah, it very much filled the niche of this is Konosuba.
I enjoyed it more than I usually would because I was kind of drunk, but still.
That's not
good.
excuse, Arnie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Kazuma just always being Kazuma and being really
The
naughty.
degenerate, the stereotypical weeb degenerate.
Yep.
Yeah, just this shameless yes, this is my popular phase. I'm finally going to love a woman, and then oh god, it's almost horrific.
I swear they put 90% of their budget into the hand animations and the faces, like the close up.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was very, very good. Basically just an elongated episode of the anime. Are we getting a third season from that?
I'm
I
not sure,
think
actually.
so. I looked it up a while ago. I didn't hear anything.
Best information 2021. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any actual. So prior to watching the movie, I did see some clips which, out of context, truly holds up to the Konosuba name, such as Kazuma's interaction with what is she? Is she a demon or?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so.
she was the one of the demon lords.
She was one of the lieutenants, wasn't she?
No, yeah, one of the lieutenants of the demon king's army or whatever.
Who, as a recap, Kazuma is in that world to defeat. And that's why he gets revived every time he dies. Because the gods kind of want him to defeat the Demon King.
They want him to.
Why?
I laugh every time.
Seriously.
Yeah, well, he's got explosions on his side.
Yeah. See,
So
this is what I was talking
reveal
about in
it all.
our previous weekly challenges. Megumin is the best.
Yeah, she's even better.
I love how they sort of continue the wholesome relationship that him and Megumin have, but still continue to show he's lecherous and overthinking sort of side of things, and then he's like, oh, I don't know if I should do this because she might take it the wrong way, even though I'm not trying to do anything bad. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it was I was told this by a friend, so I don't know how accurate this is, but in the original web novel or something, she is the main romantic interest. Kazuma and Megumin get together. But the thing is, in the anime and the manga and everything, she starts off as 13 and gets to 14 and 15. She starts off as 17 in the original stuff. So and they continue the romantic interest in everything, except she's illegal.
Yeah, I don't know why they've done that.
Why?
Usually media tends to do it the other way around.
Yeah.
I know Western media, especially, in Game of Thrones, they've, up-aged all the, children characters by, 4 to 5 years, just to make, some of the scenes in the series not be as, creepy and bad.
Horrifying?
Yeah. But I guess the animation studios just decided to do it the other way around in Konosuba.
I don't know whether this was a director decision or whether this was just some sort of boardroom decision or whatever, but I feel like they fucked up there. I still love the interaction between Kazuma and Megumin, and Megumin's just an awesome character.
Maybe they were trying to make the audience feel more related to that character, I guess. Maybe.
By having Kazuma go after somebody who is underage?
Of a younger age.
He's 17 though, isn't he?
He is 7. Yeah, in
I'm
the
talking
original
about the
material,
anime,
she
by
is
the way.
his age.
Talking about the anime.
The anime?
In the manga, maybe not. I don't know. What's that all about? I haven't.
Well, it was the original web novel.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, he's 20 in the web novel.
It's
16
20
to
and
70 in
17.
the light novel.
Okay, so they down-aged both Kazuma and Megumin, but they de-aged them far enough that both of bloody Megumin is illegal. Yeah, and what's the legal age for consent in Japan is 16, or they raised it or something, and it's
I think it's 15.
That's still way too low, but still oh, come on, dude.
No, age of consent in Japan is 13 years old.
Really?
What? Are you kidding me?
I thought it was 14 at least. It's actually 13. Okay.
I actually hate that. Just horrifying.
Not that they actually do any of that in Japan anyway, because of the whole
It is frowned upon.
work is life sort of side of things that they do over there. For the last, I think it's 15 years or so, they've had a massive decrease in birth rates because millennials or even Gen Xers and younger are just not procreating because they're putting their entire career first. And then by the time they do decide, oh, wait, it's time to have a family, they're too old and they can't be bothered. But even still, they essentially just work and work and work and leave nothing else in their life because that's just the society that their country sort of led into.
That kind of sucks. The whole work ethic, work culture over there, like it's like that's like the downside that I've always seen. It's like, oh yeah, you could go and live in Japan, but then you have to abide by their work standards. And holy crap, I cannot do that. I can barely manage 7.5 hours a day.
Yeah, well, I've been listening to the Trash Taste podcast, and like I've always wanted to move overseas, and Japan was like one of the ones up the top that I wanted to, like I could see myself moving to. But just listening to them talk about how like applying for internet or moving house or anything like that sort of works over there has sort of put me off because there's like just so much bureaucracy and paperwork and stuff you need to do to get anything done over there.
Like you love Japan for the culture, but then it's and I guess it's the same thing about every country, but the nuances of like just how to go about the daily life and like figuring out services and home ownership and all that kind of shit is like it's insane just in our own country, like of Australia, let alone like in a completely different country with a different law system, a different like set of ownership rules and everything, and then on top of that another language. So we've diverted a bit. We were talking about Konosuba. Yeah, we were supposed to be talking about Konosuba.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, no, it's a great show.
Great movie, yeah.
I think in the weekly challenges I've included 2 of the characters so far.
I'm sort of saving them. I don't know what I'm saving them for, but I'm sort of like there's a lot of characters that I've looked at for the previous challenges, and I'm like, they'd be a good pick for this, but I wanted to kind of save them for like something further down the road if something else does sort of come up.
Yeah.
Which is why I've sort of been using for the trying to use like series that have like a fair few characters that I could use for challenges first, so that I still have plenty of a character pool to draw from for challenges.
It's always a struggle trying to find characters for those. Like, because especially I don't watch a lot of anime anymore, and the anime that I do remember, like I'm running out of characters for, and the anime because I try to pick from anime that I enjoyed as well as seen and everything. But then you get to this point where it's like, well, shit, I've run out of anime because like a bunch of the ones I've watched that were like, oh yeah, they might have a character for this. I don't remember the names of them, so I can't list them. Stuff like that. Like it's just so far along that like I can't remember what's good, so I just go back to my favorites. And it's also super hard because if you have like a good idea but multiple are in the same anime, you can't pick it. Yeah. Like especially like there'll be huge casts of characters from like Bleach or Naruto or not that I've seen any of them. No, I've seen Bleach. Right, yeah. And then
it's weird that you saw Bleach before Naruto.
Year. Yeah, that's because I made him watch Bleach.
Don't kill me, but I have seen
I'm
neither.
Like, hey Michael, you need to watch Bleach. Watch Bleach. And he's like, oh, I don't have time. It's such a long series. I'm like, just watch like one episode a day. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and then it took me an entire year, and like I had to pace myself because I was going through uni and everything, and I'm like, man, okay, I got to get through my 2 episodes a day, otherwise I'll never get through this. And I did get through it eventually, but holy fuck, that was
how many
long.
Episodes are there? For Bleach?
Something like 400?
500.
Oh my goodness! And you don't want me to watch One Piece? I can watch One Piece.
Well, like you can skip like 200 of them for the fillers.
Yeah, I watched all the fillers though because I hate myself.
I told him not to. I told him not to, and I gave him the filler list and everything, and he's like, nah, it's all good, I'll watch him anyway. And I'm like, alright, your funeral.
Dude, if you're gonna make me watch an anime, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch all of it. It's like somebody gives you a book, and then you give back the book and tell them, oh yeah, sorry, I read like the first like 2 pages, and then I read the last 2 pages, and that was it for me. I got it from there. And I'm like, what?
Sorry, it's 366
But you didn't give any of the story! And I know it's filler, but like, if someone recommends an anime to me, I'm gonna watch all of them.
It's actually 366 episodes.
366, okay.
And like, yeah.
Meanwhile, fucking One Piece has, what, 800?
Nearly 1,000.
nearly 1,000 episodes.
It's like 920.
And the manga
something.
authors said, like, last year or the year before that, he's only halfway through writing what he has planned for the manga, so...
Oh my god, what?
973, sorry.
Sorry, I just looked this up because like this conversation reminded me of it. One Piece had, almost 1,000 episodes. Almost 1,000 episodes. The Pokemon anime, 1,156 episodes. Dude, they've been going for, hang on, how old am I? Almost 26 years?
The problem with the Pokemon anime is that there's literally no character development. Ash is as dumb as a doorstop in episode 1 as he is in episode like 1,000 and something.
And can't catch them all and is super strong.
Yeah, well, like he's kind of an idiot, yes. Like he does not have any formal education.
Whereas supposedly in the manga it's a lot better, but...
Well, the manga's also fucked up. Like, I think one of the first issues of the manga, they actually fucking killed Pokemon, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, chopped in half kind of thing.
So in Pokemon, the whole episode about the that he encounters the Ghastlies and stuff, like, in the manga, supposedly one of those Pokemon was one of his Pokemon that died. And, like, in the manga, like, Pokemon just die left and right, and that explains why there's ghost Pokemon, because it's actually the Pokemon that have been dying that are coming back as ghost Pokemon. And, like, sometimes they still like their trainers afterwards or whatever.
Oh, that's nice. Dude, like, when are we gonna get, like, a darker Pokemon? And, like how they're doing, all these, like, darker, theories, like, was it The Boys and, like, Invincible that's coming out now, where it's, like, superheroes that are dark, like, kind of Marvel-ish superheroes? When are we gonna get, like, Pokemon, the anime, that's as dark as what the fucking Pokedex give us?
Yeah.
It's like, when you see the Pokedex entries and, like, this Pokemon, this kind of like a ghost flying type balloon Pokemon likes to take like children and basically just float them up into the sky and take them away, and then it dislikes heavy children. Like,
yeah, it's partly because when they're marketing the movies and the anime and that kind of stuff, they're marketing it for the West as it being for like kids, whereas
well, it is for kids.
Yeah, but like in Japan, there's not really a lot of the time. There's not really that much of a border. Like you still have like 20-year-olds and stuff that are into shonen, even though shonen was originally intended to be like for ages 13 to 17 or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then like it tends to be like seinen anime tends to be more for people that are over like 27 these days, rather than it being for the ages 18 to 30 like it was originally intended.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like if you get them like the group of people wrapped up in a certain style of anime and it sticks to them, like, and especially over a population, you might have like you start these kids at like 6 or 7 or whatever, and they're watching Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball keeps going, and they just like Dragon Ball more and more and more. They're gonna keep watching it until they're bloody like 20, 30, 40. That's just the way it is. Like fucking, I grew up watching Pokemon, and I'm 26 now. Like, still fucking love Pokemon. Yeah.
See, I grew up watching Dragon Ball, but it's not really one of the fandoms that has sort of stuck with me, really. Like, to me, growing up, I thought of it as a like kids cartoon. I didn't know that it was anime at the time, and I think that mentality has sort of stuck with me with Dragon Ball. So even though Dragon Ball was probably my first anime that I watched, it wasn't until I watched Bleach in high school that I sort of was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love anime.
Yeah. I've got a similar thing. Like, like Pokemon and all that was the cartoon. It was a cartoon, and I remember watching heaps of anime cartoons. But then the first anime that I actually watched as an anime was, oh god, what was it? Sword Art Online. Like, hey, I'm going to watch this anime instead of a cartoon. Yeah, and that was in high school.
Yeah, so actually, while we're on this topic, how did everyone here actually get into anime as anime rather than anime as cartoons? You don't remember?
No, I do. Sort of.
It was a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Gonna make the same joke.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
no,
nerds.
I was in a group of friends. I was with a group of friends. They all watched anime, and I was like, oh, these guys are talking about anime. I don't know what anime is. I talked to them, and they told me about it, and I was like, oh, okay. It's quite interesting. It's interesting. I haven't seen any of it, so I asked them for some suggestions. They gave me some suggestions. I watched them, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Yeah, it's better than what I used to watch.
Yeah, but you didn't even watch Lion King when you were a child, so.
Wait, what?
Oh, shut up!
You didn't watch it until like last year when the live action one came out, and then he watched the live action one first, and he's like, "Oh, this is really good."
Are you fucking serious? That movie is imprinted on my brain.
Okay, alright, doesn't matter if I watch the live action or the cartoon one first. I watch them both and I enjoy them both. Okay, shut the fuck up.
No, that is a crime against nature, my friend. Like, yeah, you can't do that.
I don't know. Well, actually, I think I did watch it once, but I completely forgot about it.
What? Fuck, man.
Alright.
Like, I've probably watched it hundreds of times.
I remember going to a family party, and I was pretty young. And one of my relatives, an older relative, sat me down and said, "Hey, watch this, and you'll grow big and strong, or something." And I'm pretty sure it was The Lion King.
I actually
That's the
saw the
only time I
Timon and
remember.
Pumbaa special before I actually saw Lion King.
I remember that.
What?
And then I saw Lion King, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Timon and Pumbaa! I know these guys!
I've got like home videos somewhere where like it's just me sitting down watching The Lion King like on VHS and everything, and like they just put it on for me over and over and over again, like and then I would ask them to watch the movie, and this is before I could talk properly, but like I wouldn't call it The Lion King, I would call it Simba. I want to watch a Simba. I want to watch and then they put the
Really?
movie on for me, and that was the movie that I keep watching as I was like 3-4 years old, and I'm like even before then, and man, it like that movie made my early childhood. So I don't understand how somebody can go to
Hold on.
2020 and not fucking watch it.
Have you seen? Oh, I mean, how old were you? How old are you now? Like you're 27?
26?
26.
Almost 26. Almost 26.
Oh, it's 26. Okay, so we're like about a year and a half, 2 years apart. That's not too bad. I did watch it. I just completely forgot about it. And then I watched it again after the live action. Not too bad though.
That goes against everything that I've ever known. Anyways, we've diverted again because we're still supposed to be talking about Konosuba.
This is the diversion episode.
No.
You're gonna have to sit me down and watch all the other ones that I haven't watched. Which are
Alright, Michael, do you remember how you got into anime?
Yes. So, like I said before, I remember I was in the middle of English class in bloody year 12? Yeah, year 12. And then, was it our friend, Richard, who we went to high school with, we were talking and stuff, and I'm like, there's this anime called, Sword Art Online. I think you'd really like it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, like, maybe, I don't know, I've never watched anime before, completely not knowing that anime had previously been most of my life, having watched, like, Pokemon and Toonami and all that shit. And then, I go home, how did I even acquire it? I think I just watched it on, like, a site or something. Like, I don't remember how I got my hands on Sword Art Online, but I got it, and I watched it, and I'm like, this is amazing. And I remember watching it in the Japanese sub as well. So like,
it was like my
English sub.
Just let it online as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, this blows my mind. Like there are more cartoons like this. Like I remember watching, like Digimon, Pokemon, Zoids. I remember watching like all of these like, yeah, right, and like all these like these anime shows that I just didn't recognize as a kid. Like I remember like sitting in front of the TV, bloody Toasted TV or whatever it was called back then, and watching
Peace
like
TV.
One Piece.
No, first Toasted, then no.
Yeah,
Peace TV
No.
first, then Toasted.
Yeah, I remember watching Toasted TV because whatever. And it was like, oh yeah, there'd be One Piece, there'd be Naruto, there'd be like that kind of stuff early in the morning sometimes, and I'd watch that, and there would be Pokemon on there, and I'd watch that, and I didn't realize that was anime.
Yeah.
And then that was the first anime that I realized was an anime, and then that opened my brain, and then I spent the next couple years just watching anime. And that's me. That was it. Like, yeah.
Alright, what about you, Naz?
Basically the same with Michael, like watching East TV and Toast TV and like seeing like Naruto, One Piece, Beyblades, Crush Gear.
Oh
what
my
else?
god, Broski.
like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, like all the old style animes, and Yu-Gi-Oh! We can add that in there. Yeah, and then
Oh, yeah,
didn't know about like they were anime until my friends told me in year 7 to watch Bleach, and I was like, "What's Bleach?" It's like, "That's an anime," and I'm like, "Okay." And then yeah, that's just that's what hooked me.
Did anyone, when they first discovered anime, pronounce it wrong until someone told you, "Hey, this is how it's pronounced"?
No, because I have nerdy friends, and yeah, they all pronounce things properly. So
I'll add that we're in Australia and none of us pronounce anything correctly. So continue.
well, anime is
Mate,
I
you got
used to
the
pronounce it
Barrys.
as anime, I think it was.
Jeez.
And then my mates were
Wait,
like,
wait, what?
I used to pronounce it anime.
A9.
Well, I'm
Instead of
sorry,
anime.
Yanni, and your Nuna waiting.
The viewers won't know what that means. Okay, I don't want
No,
to.
it's alright. I love Nuna waiting. Nuna waiting is great.
Instead of none
Oh wait,
yeah.
I understand what you mean now. I was like, what? No, wait, what?
None of wanting, yeah. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Go on.
Yeah. So the way that I got into anime, it was through Bleach. So when I was in year 7, my older brother, he had a friend that was like, hardcore otaku, like was watching like so many different anime and all this, and he got my brother into Bleach, and like I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is he watching? That looks fucking cool as shit. And he's like, oh, this is Bleach. You want to watch it? And I'm like, yeah. And so I like, after he was done with the computer, he put on the first episode for me, and I'm like, holy shit, what is this? And like, I didn't know it was called anime. He just told me it was Japanese cartoons. And then, year 7 graphics class, we had a project where we had to like take an existing picture and make it bigger by like drawing a grid on it and redrawing it using the grid. And the picture that I redrew was like a picture of Kenpachi's face.
I thought you were gonna say Rangiku. I'm like, oh, Mitchell.
No, it was Kenpachi's face. And I was going to color it in, and I'm like, shit, I don't have any of the right colors to do his face the right coloring. Whatever. I got an A+ for that assignment, and I'm just like, sweet!
Nice.
You got
Yes.
graded? What?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I never got graded.
And then, like, I stopped watching it at, like, I think it was, like, episode 60 or something, because my brother stopped watching it, and I didn't know how to, like, download it or anything at the time, or see if I could find some way to watch it, because he was borrowing his friend's DVDs at the time. And then, like, I think it was year 10, one of the guys in my IT class was watching it, and I'm like, hey, is that Bleach? And he's like, yeah, it's Bleach. And he ended up giving it all to me, and I managed to catch up, and I'm like, oh, the fillers suck. And then that's when I got into manga as well, because I just couldn't be bothered with fillers anymore, so I just caught up with the Bleach manga and stayed up to date with the Bleach manga for like so long.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hang on, so you initially got into it at year 7, and that was similar for you, Naz. You were year 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Yanni, you were what, year 10? You said?
No, I don't think it was 10. It's a long time ago. I never really. I think it was year 9. Year 8, 9.
Year 9. Damn. So
In
I
between.
feel like I got into it very, very late then, because mine was like last year of high school, kind of, and then I didn't even properly. Like, it wasn't until the year later when I started, like, actually, okay, I'm going to watch this, 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 because in year 12, it was like, okay, here's Sword Art. Okay, Sword Art's pretty cool.
I
Continue with schoolwork.
until year like 11 and 12, I didn't really have a means to watch it because I didn't have my own like computer, and I literally only had like a shitty laptop with no internet, so I had to get other people to give me the anime, like Mitchell. So until that time, I didn't really get that into it, but once I was able to watch what I wanted when I wanted it, I just fell down the rabbit hole. Just watched anime after anime after anime. It's great.
Well, that's a life. Yeah,
So
I was
I
bloody-
think my interests have kind of were their interests because they had an anime that they obviously liked, not anime that they didn't like. So they gave me the ones that they liked and recommended it. So
yeah, like that's kind of how like the friendships work and everything. You got the you know, you're in with a bunch of friends, and you know your friends usually like the same stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna recommend this
Yeah.
anime now. We're
Yeah.
gonna do this, and then you know you end up liking the same stuff, so you end up liking the same anime too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree with that, but I
Not-
can also
not
disagree. There's a
all
lot
the
of
time.
anime that I reckon I like that I know aren't necessarily you guys' cup of tea, so...
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
not everything translates well over.
I don't judge until I watch it, unless it's like specifically bad to my unliking. Like, you can't just say like, because my friend keeps telling me I'm not gonna like Steins Gate because it has time travel. I'm like, bitch, time travel's my thing. Like,
Then what?
Fuck time travel. Fuck time travel, man.
it,
Have you
You
guys
can
watched
debunk
Steins
all of
Gate
these
Zero yet?
time travel. Yes.
no.
No.
10 times over. I
Okay.
have.
Actually,
literally.
is that an anime lab?
I've literally watched the entire series 10 times over.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But, alright, let's move on to what was intended to be our main topic of today. And that
We
got-
is, what are your favourite anime of all time? Does anyone want to start?
Yeah, right.
Well, we can't say all time because more things are coming out, and I'm liking more things, and like it's just getting too good, and I can't watch everything.
There are a
Well,
lot of
okay,
anime
okay.
that I really like and have held a special place in my heart. But
Well, it's like
I can only
favorite.
choose 3, I think.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's what we picked. Like we picked 3 anime, right? That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are we just doing one?
I can't do one. I literally can't.
Okay,
You don't have to do 3, but like for me,
You don't have to go too in depth there. But just be like, yeah, these
Yeah.
3 are my favorite.
Okay.
I have so many anime that I love and will always love. But these ones have stuck with me. I can watch them over and over again, and it will never get old. My first one is Clannad, and Clannad After Story.
Yeah.
There were one that was actually the first anime that was ever recommended to me. I absolutely loved it. It hits you in the feels. Like the first anime that ever made me cry, and it still makes me cry. over like I think 10 years later, it still makes me cry. I'm like,
No,
this is
it's just
awesome.
the whole like father-daughter like
It's
dynamic.
just a roller
that they
coaster
have.
of
I haven't
emotions.
seen it.
It's a roller coaster.
Nor have I.
Emotions.
I can't. I'm
Yanni's
gonna
told
t-
me to watch it so many times and I've never
Well-
gotten around to watching it.
And you tell me to
Alright,
watch
alright.
Lion King. Come on.
All right, we are
No,
going
but
to
Lion
watch
King's a
Clannad.
childhood thing.
Yanni, do you want to be waterboarded right now?
Well, if you can reassure my screen, sure.
Hey, we're in lockdown.
Does waterboarding Yanni not count as an essential activity?
Oh, yeah, they might agree.
Look, normally,
Hey, you're
no, but I'm
cleaning
giving it a pass for this.
Cops pull you over. This man did not see Lion King until like last year. Oh, okay.
Hey,
that's
go
all
ahead,
right then.
sir.
We'll assist you, sir.
Here's my gun.
Alright, anyway, Yanni, go on.
Yeah, Clannad, I absolutely love it and will always love it. I think it stands on top of all the anime, in my opinion. They're still, all of them are still great. Second one is Demon Slayer. I wasn't sure about this anime until I watched it. And now that I look at it, I watched it over a few times. I love it. The animation, the sound design, I love the music, the characters' motivations, the story in general is great. Varied characters. I really like this show, and I hope it continues. The third one is Steins Gate, obviously.
Yeah, we were just saying about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've literally watched it to death. My heart skipped a beat when they announced the second season, Steins Gate Zero, and to be honest, it was everything that I expected. I loved it. It's so good. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I should have more to say, being in one of my top 3, but still.
Yeah.
Trust me, we'd probably be here for hours if we
Yeah.
evaluated our whole list.
I don't know. Time travel in media can be debunked really easily.
Oh yeah,
But,
definitely. That's why it's hard to write about. And,
Like you can't change the future by going back to the past. That's not how it
It's
works.
like-
It
Time
depends
travel
on
is
how
always a-
you do time travel, because
Well, yeah, it's a point of view.
Steins Gate is one of the ones where they take into account multiverse theory, and that is when you change something, it causes a split in the timeline. And the world that you're going into isn't the original reality you came out of. It's a new one. And that's how paradoxes can exist in Timescape, because of the splitting up the timelines. Whereas in a reality where you change stuff and you go back to your own timeline and it's different, that's where paradoxes can occur, because if you've changed the event that would cause you to go back in time, then you never go back in time to change that event, and then it just resets itself.
Yeah,
The grandfather paradox.
Yeah, it's not just the paradoxes, like, you know, because like watching Steins Gate, watching like Madoka Magica and everything, time travel always fucks over the world. Like, it's so terrible and it's so fucking complicated, and you got to go through you got to account for every single fucking variable so it doesn't butterfly effect itself into a billion little pieces. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, at least a few anime that I've seen that have time travel, it's always been like it'll be a huge part of the plot, and then it will just like, oh, they use it to fix something, but it just makes the problem 100 times worse. So for that reason, I hate time travel, and I hate the notion of time travel. And it's like, yeah, you can just do it some other way with the technology you have, but you have a time machine, so I don't know, let's use it.
Yeah, I feel like the only acceptable time travel is going forward into the future to see what happens, and then going back to the present, because you will know what would happen, and you know how it happened to change it if it's bad or good.
Oh, yeah, like this, like
It's like an
do not
information
even
gathering
allow
tool.
do not allow going back in time. Otherwise, you might do
Yeah,
a
like-
drama, becoming your own grandfather or something.
Yeah, imagine that being a rule. Like, time travel is here. You're not allowed to go back, and then someone breaks that rule, and then it fucks up the timeline. But there are time cops and all that shit, and like they try to stop him by going back in time to stop him, and then it just creates parallel universes and then paradoxes, and then I want to write this now. Give me a pen.
Yeah, I think they did something similar on a Rick and Morty episode, or with the snakes and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did, and then they made the snakes eat each other or whatever, and they just killed the. I don't know. Yeah, they had space cops in there as well.
Alright.
Right, sorry, we were supposed to be talking about favorite anime, huh?
Yep, I'll go
Keep
next.
rambling.
We just keep diverting. Anyways, continue.
See, I think of our group, I've probably watched the most or largest variety of anime. And
You
there's...
count
agreed.
Dio as a part of the group,
Huh?
because if you count Dio,
Yeah, no one can
part of-
compare to Dio, but that's because anime and manga is literally Dio's life. He is
Yeah.
literally your stereotypical shut-in otaku.
We
He's a good
talked
person to go to if you're after recommendations. He's part of Silver and Naz's social circle.
Oh, we weren't talking about Dio from JoJo's.
Not JoJo's Dio.
No. Well, now that just comes up every time we see it. It's like, Kono Dio da, and then he's like, oh.
Yeah, so I was going through my my anime list, and I'm like, crap, I got way too many that I've rated like in the 9s and 10s here. I need to like sort them out and figure out which 3 I'd probably put as my top 3. And I've sort of figured it out based on ones that I can probably go back to and just rewatch. So number 1 for me would probably have to be Shield Hero. Originally, it probably would have been ReZero, but Shield Hero, I feel, overtook ReZero in my mind as like a really good top anime. And it's purely because I really like the sort of underdog story where the main character, he just has so much shit thrown at him, and like he's constantly having to fight to overcome pretty much what he's been given to in like the new life that he's been given as like the isekai sort of situation. Second, Michael can probably agree with me on this one, Code Geass.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
that sits high up the top for the same reason that Shield Hero and ReZero sort of sit high in my mind. It's the whole sort of trying to overcome all the obstacles in your way to like the underdog hero that's trying to overcome obstacles. But like with Code Geass, it's the whole thing that yes, he is of a high standing, but he's dropping down to the commoner level and like helping the commoners fight back against those of even higher standing than himself. And then third, I'm putting Terraformers purely because the high testosterone, just sort of stereotypical shonen, just constant brawling sort of style of it.
It seems very macho. Like it's just muscle in that anime. Like I haven't seen it, but
pretty
what I've
much.
seen, it's mostly muscle.
There was a lot of disappointing parts. Like we saw it over the weekend, and like there's a lot of disappointing parts in that. But like I get what they're going for. I don't know. It's not in my top.
And what you were saying regarding the Code Geass, like I like that one too. It's a close contender for mine, but I like a lot of it as well because of the.
I think you were originally the person that told me to watch it. I think
I might have been, yeah. Like I remember watching it during when we went to Phillip Island one time, and then I was like, I like, hey, you should watch this. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but just the way he, deals with problems, not just like physically through battle, but also like diplomatically, politically, doing all these like smart, almost like chess move style, like, encounters with just people in any kind of situation he has. And it's a very like, oh yeah, I'm a smart guy, so I'm gonna do all this like smart shit anime, but yeah. Oh, okay. Naz, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing them in order because I still don't have an order because they're all so good to me. Because some people don't like. For instance, Bleach. Bleach is definitely one of my top. I just love all the characters. Except for Don Kanonji. I hate him. Anyways.
Who was he again?
He's part of the filler.
the mwahahaha guy.
Wahahaha! The spirit chaser.
Oh, him.
The guy who
Yeah.
fights ghosts but can't actually see the ghosts that he's meant to be fighting.
Yeah.
I barely remember him, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, just the character development, all of them. I just love the type of powers that they have, and yeah, it's just one of my favorites. And everyone's favorite, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Can't go wrong with that, except for Shao Tucker. Could all try to slaughter
Yeah.
him in our dreams.
That one's a very good one, yeah.
And the third that came up to my top three was My Hero Academia. I am super pumped for it. Like, I've been reading the manga. I barely read, and this is like my number one thing that I read now.
He literally gets annoyed with me when I miss a week and I fall
Yeah.
behind.
I'm like, I need someone to talk to. But yeah, like I'm trying to know everyone's like even favorite foods. Like, Bakugo's favorite food is spicy food, and Todoroki's favorite food is cold miso. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's not cold miso. Cold udon. Sorry.
Well, they always put those like in the little
Yeah, like
corners.
yeah, I'm trying to remember everyone's and like have all the information of My Hero because
Yeah.
it's definitely becoming one of my favorites.
Like Deku's his pork cutlet rice ball or some shit.
Yes, yes it is.
Yeah. Like they always
How
have
do you
that.
guys
like,
even
every
remember
weird
that?
size height. Because
I
I
don't
watched the
understand.
fucking anime.
So do I.
I've watched it multiple times so far, so
I don't remember those details.
Eh.
I mean, you would if you watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Yanni, you forget that I have ADD, just like you have ADHD. So I'm just like, oh, what is that thing on the other side of my room? Instead of like looking at the screen sometimes.
It is during the transition scenes, so I can understand, like, oh yeah, it's a transition, you're not paying attention to the script that's at the bottom of the thing, but I do!
yeah.
Yeah, clearly Naz and I do. Yeah, this is how you tell the true fans from the posers.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go with my top anime. So, like, my, I guess, like, third... Because I got 3 anime and I didn't know which ones to put, but like my third favorite I've got is Ruby. So
Okay.
it's kind of like half anime, but it's done in the anime style, but it's 3D. But I always liked that because like before I got into anime, like during high school, I wasn't like a Rooster Teeth fan, and I still am. And they do all their they started bringing out Ruby during the last like years of my high school, and since then, that's been part of my life for like 7 years. Like I've always like gone back. Like I had watched the show, and it's gone from like kind of mediocre animation to really good animation. But throughout the years, they've done a lot of character progression, which is something I value highly in anime. And they've just it's been a part of my life so long that like I can't not have it as a favorite. and like I find like fan art, and I watch these clips, and I used to listen to the soundtrack and everything. Yeah, so it's just really resonates with me. Like I can't not connect to these characters who have been a part of my life for freaking what 7-8 years. I think they're at like season 7.
Yeah.
Next, I've got My Hero Academia. Again, like massive character development, and like I didn't watch like I didn't read the manga or anything, like but watching this like scrawny, no power kid turn into like the that he is now, and just I haven't seen any of the latest season as well. Like they're up to season 4. What Naz and I were talking about.
Season 5 started.
Season 5? Okay, yeah. My bad.
Season 5 started.
So they're up to season 5 now, and I haven't watched any of that, but I've watched everything up to that, and just like the hammering people with the power of friendship, fucking.
Even what's in the manga now, like they just keep coming up with things that are just captivating you and wanting to have more, and like
yeah. Like I find from like Deku and a lot of the cast, like the cast are all so interesting, and like not a single one of them has like a disinteresting thing about them.
Mineta.
Oh yeah, great boy. Okay, I immediately retract my statement. Like it's such like an insane and like well like detailed cast, and it's just amazing, and I love it. Again, like the character progression, I could talk to you like heaps and heaps and heaps about My Hero Academia, but I have more anime to talk about.
Can I
should have just
pause
a
you
full
there for
discussion
1 sec?
of anime.
Yeah.
Can I pause you there 1 sec? One of our viewers is actually asking us if any of us have watched Katekyo Hitman Reborn.
My friend told me to watch it back in high school, where I didn't watch it.
Alright, so I'll add that to our list of things to watch as well.
Oh, yeah, I know this character. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I think I might have tried to watch this, like, years and years ago, but never got around, like, added it to my list years and years ago, but never watched it. Yeah, we could put that down, like, it looks interesting.
Alright, we'll add that to our list.
I'd be interested in that.
Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah, thank you.
You can go back to what you were saying, Michael. Sorry.
Yeah, and yeah, I was talking about My Hero, wasn't I?
Yeah, and then you're gonna go on to your next anime, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think I had more to say, but I've already forgotten. Because that's the kind of person I am. But my final and top anime, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Like Mitch knows. Like, a bunch of our friends know. I've got it as the background for my phone. I've got it at, like, the soundtrack for my bloody ringtone. I go back to watch this bits from the movie, bits from the series, because just, they're so amazing to me. Like, I started watching this in, my first year at university, and the character progression and the intenseness of just everything that happens, like in My Hero, is like amplified by 10 in Tengen Toppa. Like again, starts off as a small, scrawny kid. He doesn't know what he can do. He doesn't know his powers and anything, and then he just like escalates and becomes this like badass. And it's got like it's a mecha anime as well, which is something I enjoy. It goes above and beyond, and like that in itself is like a blurb for what happens in the show. Just like everything they come across, they go above and beyond. And I don't want to say too much because Naz and Yanni haven't watched too much. Oh, they haven't watched the series, and I don't want to spoil anything for them because it gets fucking insane. Whenever I need something to watch or whatever, I'm like not feeling great, like I will put on like 1 or 2 scenes from the movie, just like the final battle scenes and how awesome they are, or something like that, and it'll just like the soundtrack and everything just gets me pumped, and then that'll sort me out for fucking weeks.
So at this point, I don't think Trigger can actually go any wrong.
Oh, that was. Oh, yeah, because it was Studio Gainax at the time, and then they split. The guys who made that split off to make Trigger, and Trigger did like anime, like
Trigger did Darling and the Franxx, and then they also did Promare.
They also did. Is it Kill la Kill?
No,
I think so. I think.
They did Kill la Kill.
I'm not 100%.
Kill la Kill is also a favorite of mine. Is that the? Am I getting my names? Yeah, they did. They also did Kill la Kill, and that was a big favorite of mine. I do have to watch Darling in the Franxx as well because that's a big mecha anime.
Did you get around to watching Promare?
No.
You should watch Promare because the main guy in Promare gives I forget his actual name, but Anarchy.
What's it? Yes. Yeah, I absolutely know what you mean.
The main character is pretty much him, but like in the future, and a cop that fights fire.
He's a Kamina. Yeah, that's his name. I wanted to watch this, and I couldn't find anywhere to watch this. Hang on. Like, I tried to look for it on Anime Lab, but it just wasn't there. And then I, didn't have any other places to watch it or download it or anything. So I just never got around to watching it. But I really fucking want to watch this one. It gives off the same vibes and everything.
Is Gurren Lagann on Crunchyroll or?
No. Yes. It's on Anime.
It's on Anime Lab.
It's on Anime Lab. That's just the TV show, though. The movies, like, there's 2 movies. They kind of split the 24 episode season into 2 movies, and what they do is they kind of like they slice down a lot of the just walking around stuff, and then they focus on like the big battles and everything, and they add way more to the final battle and how awesome it is, and they fix some like plot points and everything as well.
Okay.
I do have the movies, so I can give them to you.
Yeah. When we see each other next, you can just pass them off.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I cannot recommend it enough. Like it's not everyone's cup of tea, but like our friend Will from high school, he loves it as well, and like a lot of the times, like we'll just like my phone will go off in the middle of like a D&D session or whatever, and it's Gurren Lagann theme, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you like Gurren Lagann?" And then we'll just like talk about it for like another 5 minutes while the DM, usually Mitch, is just like, "Guys, will you shut up?"
Guys, I'm trying to murder you with goblins here. Can you like calm down?
Yeah.
Did you make a Gurren Lagann D&D game?
I tried. Bloody, yeah, like our most recent D&D game, kind of isekai, and I wanted the Gurren Lagann mech, and Mitch kind of gave it to me, but yeah, like I tried to put it in the game. You can't tell me I didn't. Oh man, I'm all hyped up now just talking about it. I love it.
I'll have to give it a shot.
Yes, please do. That's another thing that shat me. So like, one of my friends in university, like we would like exchange shows, anime and everything. And I tried to get him to watch anime, and he stopped. I tried to get him to watch Gurren Lagann, and he got up to a point where the really cool dude, okay, I won't say it because of spoilers, but he got up to a certain point and then he stopped watching it, and that was like 4 episodes in, and I'm like, dude, come on, there's so much more than this one point, and he's like, nah, I don't want to watch it anymore, and it shits me to this day.
Who was this?
This is Jordan, if you recall from the,
Yeah,
like,
no, I know Jordan.
Jordan, if you're out there listening to this, like, by any chance or whatever, fuck you. Like, that is driving me crazy for fucking years.
Savage.
Alright, but that's enough talking about that, because I've gone overboard.
Do you have any other points of discussion?
Oh, damn it, I just remembered one of my points. In, that kind of like Gurren Lagann, My Hero, and everything, I do get a lot of like a big, almost like a Captain America vibe. Like, it's the same kind of trope, but like, you see this like not powerful, opposite in fact, like this really meek and weakly person that just like, oh yeah, they just kind of want to do good, but they don't have the power, and then they give in the power, and then they do so much good with that power. They become the bloody, symbol of peace. They become like the hero, the person, the git that gets shit done, but for the right reasons. Yeah, I love that trope. That is the thing I look for in an anime.
And there have been a lot more shonen coming out, like, about that and stuff. And, like, for instance, Jujutsu Kaisen, like, so pumped about that anime and can't wait for more, and I might start reading that as well because, yeah, I'm really liking that.
Yeah, I'm about 7 episodes in so far.
I don't actually know what this one's about. Oh, guy with a mouth in his hand. Nice.
He eats fingers. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, he eats fingers. That's all you need to know.
Finger food.
You know what? Nice. Okay, is this kind of like a Parasite deal, or?
No.
It's more from the sort of occult sort of side of things. It's more to do with like essentially they're like demon exorcists or demon hunters or something like that kind of thing.
Or as my friend
Gotcha.
put it, new Bleach.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, maybe we can add that to the list. I guess not if you guys have already watched it.
Like you can check it out yourself, and then we can have a discussion about it later.
Sorry, damn, it's not an anime lab, but I'm still watching Wonder Egg Priority.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm continuing watching that. I'm up to episode 6. No,
That's
yeah,
nice,
episode
not
7 now.
definitely.
Yeah, but I'm up to episode 7 now, and I'm just maybe we should do a thing later, you know, in a couple months' time, like review an anime that we reviewed previously,
See if
but
we've
like
gone back to
actually went
anime
finished.
we've done. Yeah, I was sort of thinking something along the lines of that.
Yeah, like which anime did you review? Which like of these anime that you reviewed, not knowing anything about, and went back to watch it and then review it there?
All right. I guess that's it for today. Yeah.
Big session. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were rambling a lot.
My bad.
What were we
Lion
doing?
King.
What did we decide? Lion King.
We talked more about Lion King.
King of it.
Alright, so next week we are going to be watching Talentless Nana, and we'll be going to do the heist challenge that we were originally going to do the first week, which one of our friends has submitted the rules for the heist challenge.
What rules do you need? Heist a bank and rob it.
No, so it's not a bank.
Yeah.
We will eventually do a bank or a museum or something, but for the first heist challenge, the mission is to heist a mummy sarcophagus from an Egyptian tomb that is guarded by the military. You need to plan out what crew members will have what responsibilities and plan your escape from the area. You will receive 5 crew members. As per normal, each character comes with any equipment and powers they'd normally have. You cannot use a character if you've used them in previous challenge, and you cannot use more than one character from an individual series.
Can we use sci-fi?
Yes, provided they fit into the whole bank heist situation.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in, Zod, and anyone that's possibly watching this when we finally get around to uploading it to YouTube.
Thanks for watching.
That's the end of this episode.
Yeah,
That's
thank you
the
very
end
much.
of that chapter.